Hello, Lynn.
Hi.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right. So, when and why and how did you get into Scientology?
It was 1971.
Hmm.
My ex-husband and I, we used to fight a lot. That was our ruin. Someone said, "Oh, I know this place called Scientology, and they will fix you because they have a wonderful communications course, and you guys apparently need help with communication." Okay, so we jumped right on in. And within, I'd say, 2 months, what happened for me was there was so much validation and people around me who just showed me support that I just said I can't do this anymore with him. and I left him. I just dropped him. I couldn't. I was very spontaneous, and then that was it. So that was my journey. 3 months later, actually, I did the comm course, I did the HQS course and stuff. Next course, and next thing I knew, I jumped into the Sea Org. I was just like that. I just jumped
Boy.
right into it. So, but that didn't last long because all of a sudden, I could see what was going on, and I started getting sick actually after about 6 months, and I jumped back out. Meanwhile, and I didn't know it at the time, I had gone Dianetic Clear, and I had no idea that I had. Okay, so time travels here, and I meet second husband. He helps me actually attest to being clear, and then we jump now to 1980, I believe, and he had known Ron mostly via he had been doing pubs out in Denmark, so he was in communication with Ron, and he told me back in 1980. He says, "You know what? Things are going to get real bad. We're bailing." And I said, "Okay." So we bailed from there. I mean, I didn't actually get as much training in the Sea Org as you might like, and I didn't have enough money at that time to really invest in going all the way up the bridge and stuff. So my training as far as an auditor, really, I was just doing book one at that time. And so, yeah, so so that's what happened so far.
And on the other side of the bridge, you are tested clear. That's
Well,
how far.
I tested Dynamic Clear, but
Yeah.
it's not OT levels.
You didn't do. You didn't
I
do it at
haven't
the
done
time.
the OT levels.
Okay. All right. So why did you leave the church?
Well, actually, mostly that was my second husband's idea. He said things are going to get really bad here.
Oh, okay.
He was only 2 years off because by 1982 people were leaving left and right. They were being thrown out. There was chaos. I starting about from 83 to 86. I must have heard every horror story there was. I
Okay.
mean, unbelievable. So he was right, actually. You know.
Okay. And when you left the church, did you leave the Scientology as well?
Kind of at that time, yeah. We moved up to Nowheresville. I mean, we moved in like 17 miles out of Carson City, Nevada, where there are people out there who never even heard of Scientology. So you had to, adapt real quick. And then we had a situation where we had a fire. All my Scientology materials burned. That was it. That was over. And I had this wonderful realization: there's life after Scientology. You know what I mean? I'm in this world still. I'm alive, and whatever it is I've learned, it's got to be mine. I got to make it mine, and that's what I did.
So in present time, are you
Hmm.
using the Scientology technology
I
at all?
still do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. First of all, I love doing TRs. I will never ever stop doing TRs. Those those are probably the biggest element, basic element you could possibly do. And so I still do those. Again, I haven't trained all the way up yet as far as being an auditor. Me personally, I have a little bit of a thing about e-meters, because when your TRs are totally in, you really almost don't need a meter. But that's blasphemy in the church. So I don't get into that with people mostly, but really it's very powerful, and I use it quite a bit actually in almost everything I do in my environment and everything.
How
So
about helping people? How about
yeah,
do
in
you
other
do
words, I
anything?
use it. Well, I'm not really what you'd call a formal auditor, like class 4 or
Hmm.
anything of that nature. So there's lots of things from Scientology you can use. I mean, there's lots of books, you know. I mean, like, look, Volunteer Minister's Handbook, preferably the older one, not the newer one. And there's Creation of Human Ability. There's all the, you know, there's lots and
All
lots
those
of books you can,
yeah.
Problems of Work. You know, sometimes all it takes is one or two phrases for somebody, you know, and all of a sudden they're popped right out of whatever the situation is, or oh, okay, I can do this, or there's ethics, there's admin, there's all kinds of things you can do to
Yeah.
help someone
Exactly.
get through, you know. So yeah.
Okay. Well, how do you see the future of Scientology?
You mean as far
Do you
as
think
the
it has a
church,
future?
or as far
No.
as the people who are now making it work outside of that?
Well, as far as you're concerned, like, what is your vision for Scientology, for the future of Scientology?
Well,
Does
first
it have
of all,
the
you
future?
know, there's a thing called, you know, the free zone. You know, the people who are out. It's growing. It's growing fast because of the internet, and there are wonderful people who have left and are surging their energies into freedom
Mm-hmm.
to practice, you know, how it's supposed to be practiced. And you know what? If you even make a mistake, or if you go off a little bit here and there, you know, you find out whether it works or not. But you know, it's just it's a lot freer. I like it because also I don't have to go through all the bureaucratic writing. Writings.
Yeah.
You know, like going through the chaplain, going through, you know, having to write everything up, waiting for weeks to be okayed, you know, that sort of thing. I love the freedom, and there's lots more people that I prefer being with, you know.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lynn. And are you here to celebrate what? Are you here for a
Well,
party? Right?
I love getting together with people who are, you know, who are Scientologists basically, and practice, and they're free to talk, you know, how they want, and they're fun people, you know. So yeah, that's why I'm here. 4th of July is okay too. I'm American, but but mostly I'm just here to have fun and just relax and enjoy people.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lynn.
Okay.